Hi, my name's Raghu Mirmira. I'm a professor of medicine in the endocrinology section at the University of Chicago, and I'm also the director of the Translational Research Center. Thought I'd provide a little bit of my background and then what my research is. I did my original training at the University of Chicago. I got my PhD and my MD here. In fact, I even got my bachelor's degree here. And that was a few years ago. So you could see the dates that sit on this slide. I did, after finishing my MD, I did my residency and fellowship in endocrinology at the University of California at San Francisco. And then at the conclusion of my fellowship, I stuck around the University of California at San Francisco for another 5 years or so. And I did postdoctoral training studying primarily the development of the islet beta cell. And at that point in time, my focus became largely diabetes, both type 1 and type 2. Then I got my first faculty position at the University of Virginia, and I was there for about 8 years. And I developed my research program independently there, and then rose through the faculty ranks to associate professor, at which time I was then recruited to Indiana University about 12 years ago to become the director of the Diabetes Center there. And we sort of built the Diabetes Center with a focus on translation. And so my interests have been primarily in translational research. And I have over the years trained many endocrinology fellows, both adult and pediatric endocrinology fellows. And then last year, I was recruited to come to the University of Chicago and to build on the great tradition of diabetes at this institution. And as you're probably hearing from several of the other faculty, there has been a long tradition of diabetes at this institution. And for example, proinsulin was discovered here by Donald Steiner, and a lot of the physiology of insulin secretion was also discovered here by many faculty who still remain on faculty at this institution, but also others who've since retired. So my role as director of the Translational Research Center is to see that research across different disciplines, not just in the area of endocrinology, but in other related medicine subspecialties, focuses on translation, focuses on connections to humans, and importantly, puts training of fellows and students as a priority for what we do. So let me tell you a little bit about my research interests. As I told you before, I studied the islet beta cell, and as you know, that's the cell that produces insulin. And what we have discovered over the years is that this cell appears to fail in virtually all forms of diabetes, whether it's type 1, type 2, or any of the different types of other forms of diabetes. And so in this particular area, my lab has focused primarily on bench research, which means that we've studied a variety of different aspects of the biology of the beta cell in cell lines, cultured cells, in animal models, and so forth. In terms of other research more related to translation, my lab has also been interested in identifying biomarkers that reflect the beta cell state, both stress and death in diabetes. And so here we focus primarily on developing and discovering biomarkers in humans that reflect the state of the beta cell. And so this is one area that a lot of fellows in my lab have really gravitated to and have made some major advances. And we've published some very high profile papers in this area. And we're really excited about the directions that we're moving. And I think there's a lot of projects here for fellows who really want to understand the pathophysiology of human diabetes, both type 1 and type 2. And then my lab has also been interested in another aspect of translation, and that is drug targets. Because we know that the beta cell fails in diabetes, our interest has also been trying to develop small molecules or biologics that can improve beta cell function. And here we truly move through the translational spectrum. We study cells, animal models, and these include lower animal models like fish, to slightly higher mammalian models like mice and rats, and then clearly into humans. In fact, we have recently completed a clinical study, which, believe it or not, began with some observations that we made in fish, then showed that the drug that we identified works in mice. And then it turns out that there was an approved drug that targets the same protein that we could use in humans. And so we applied for what's called an investigational new drug. And through collaborators, we actually got funding from the JDRF, and we recruited patients into a clinical trial with this drug. And we have actually recruited all our patients and completed the study, and we're doing the analysis now. So there's opportunities like that for being involved in different phases of this research. And one final comment that I want to make about my research interests is that when I keep talking about translation, the exciting part of translation is that it's a process. It's not a discipline, and that you can really jump into this process at any level that you feel comfortable, whether it's working with cells, animal models, or humans, and you can make major contributions. And then finally, my clinical interests, as you could probably gather, are mostly diabetes. That includes atypical forms of diabetes, as well as type 1 and type 2 diabetes. But I've also had a personal interest in thyroid disease, and we have a great deal of strength in the area of thyroid disease here at the University of Chicago. And you will hear from some of the other faculty who have an interest in that area. So hope you'll consider coming to the University of Chicago. I think we have a lot of exciting areas of research. Our clinical training is outstanding. And the fact that after all these years, I've come full circle and back to the University of Chicago, I think says a lot about the environment, the culture, and the excitement that exists on this campus. Thanks again.